Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillah, brothers and sisters, this morning I continue to talk on the topic of religion and belief because it is important topic to think about. What is more important than the Creator, our relationship with the Creator? First and foremost, the relationship should be good one. So what is a good relationship between Creator and we as the created being? First, to believe. Second, then is to obey. Third is to do thing that is good. Of course, what is the thing that is good? The thing that has been ordained to us to do. So being obedient to our Creator is a good thing. Why? Because we know ourselves. We know that we are created being and we are created only to serve the purpose of our Creator. And for that reason, if we do things that is right and good, we'll get the reward in the next world. The opposite is also true. If we are being rebellious, living in this world, there will be a big punishment in the next world. Rebellious are the unbelievers, or being disbelief, thinking that we live in this world without a purpose and do whatever we like, and most of the time will lead people to do bad things, not doing the good thing, and that deserve the punishment of the thereafter, because we are being subjected to judgment, whether the judgment is in our favor or we fall into disfavor. I've been telling this again and again because I'm also telling this to myself. Okay. And what I tell, I believe is important to me. So I believe it is also important to you. So you'll get the benefit of listening to me and also get the benefit of talking this to you again and again whenever I make this video. Okay, brothers and sisters, let's talk about what is going on in this world, which is normally I talk something not very nice, but it actually happened. One of the common things I hear this at this time is that Chinese fishing boat roaming the world, and they do fishing in water that are not supposed to do fishing in the economic zone of other country. So many countries, they even caught the Chinese fishermen. If I name the country, I can list a few: Indonesia, Philippines, Japan, Russia, Korea. What else? Recently I heard also Peru in South America, Peru. So they just cross Pacific Ocean and go to the other side, study at the south, and they see a country, Peru, which has very long coastline. It's a funny looking country, long, narrow, and it covered the coastline of the east of South America. So they even many countries had sunk the Chinese fishing boat. They arrest the fishermen and then shot the boat to sink it. Many Chinese fishing boats sunk due to the encroaching economic zone of other countries. And not surprisingly, the 9-dash line in South China Sea, they claim as their sea is a big area, they claim, and very close to the coastline of other country. They claim that is the traditional fishing area of their country. But then, traditionally or at all time, we don't have this rule of economic zone. So it's more freedom. You can fish near the shore of other country, and not much the other country can do because there's no such rule as economic zone. But nowadays in United Nations, a country will have 200 kilometers to the sea, which is allocated as their economic zone. So if a country on an island, that's the reason why now countries is contesting on island. If they have a small island somewhere in the middle of the sea, so it's not only the island, but the surrounding sea 200 kilometers around become their economic zone. If there's oil in the areas in the economic zone, that it become their oil. So now you'll see that it also causes tension of claim and counterclaim. So it happened many areas of claim and counterclaim of island. Okay, that's another thing about another story about Chinese fishing boat encroaching all over the place, and they are not welcome, and the fishing boat were even sunk by the Navy ship equipped with guns. And they also mentioned about the Coast Guard. I don't know who shot them, whether the Coast Guard or the Navy. Some country saying the Coast Guard. Maybe some country use the Navy. That I don't know. But not much can be done because it's already against the law. So the country doing that is just following the law. So if there is a court case, sure, the Chinese fishermen will be in the loss. In the case, if they brought the matter to international court, so the way it forward is to refrain the Chinese fishing boat to encroach to other countries. Yes, fishing is a lucrative business. Peruvian claim that the economic benefit they get from fishing they say billion of dollars value of fish, and they blame the Chinese for fishing, and they get fish value of billion of dollars. So we don't know how true it is, but fishing is lucrative business. So I'm not surprised that China being the most populated country, and they have maybe a million of fishermen, they can sell fish in their country to feed billions of people. That's the reason they go on fishing. I think there are a place we call international water. Maybe at that area, no one on the sea. Maybe that area anyone can do fishing in that area. One a country claim is the economic zone, then no one can do fishing in the area except the people who own the economic zone. So that is about fishing in the sea. What else is interesting happening in the world? I was talking about Taiwan. I covered that. It's about the power shortage in China. I have covered that, whereby they used to have hydropower, because they have dams, but now because of the flood, many dams broken, and when the dam broken, the hydropower is also lost. Then when the hydropower is lost, because before the hydropower, China used to have coal power plant, but then coal power plant will produce smoke and pollution. So China overcame that by building dams. The famous dam is Three Gorge Dam, the biggest dam in the world, which they say is now, because of the flood, it can break anytime. It will cause more flood if it break. I don't know, maybe it's still not breaking, but they say the level of water that it holds is on the high side. So we don't know whether it will crack or not, but they say they build it very strong, not likely to crack. But then we don't know. It's not only the water, it can cause cracking. Will also be the earthquake. And now the scientists in China also believe the water that they hold, that the lake hold, can cause imbalance, and it cause earthquake. So the imbalance, because of heavy weight of water, can cause earthquake. So another belief I heard is that in Netherlands they have gas, plenty of gas, but there is a demand of gas in Europe at this time. and the price of gas is getting higher. They want Netherlands to produce their gas more, but Netherlands say no because they believe if they produce too much at a faster rate, it will cause earthquake to their country. So, but they know that gas mining or oil mining can cause also earthquake, and it also can cause land depression, meaning that the land get lower and lower. Of course, if you look at the logic behind it, because you empty something deep down in the earth, and then when the earth deep down there is empty, the weight above it will sink to fill the emptied air zone below, and the earth above will sink. I don't see it much happening here, or maybe in other country or in other places. The earth below get weak, and it is possible depression or sinking of land happen, but this has been proven to be true in many places. Okay, brothers and sisters, let's now read the Quran. See, I get my Quran. Yes, I have the Quran and the Gospel of Barnabas. Okay, let me see the page. I'm sure I had the marking. Let's see, where's the marking? Okay. Okay, brothers and sisters. Let's see. I think we'll be reading this. Okay, now we should be reading page 108. So to get the barakah this morning, let me read the first sentence in Arabic. Barakah is blessing, ladies and gentlemen. So to get the blessing of this morning, let me read the first sentence in Arabic. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ya ayyuhallazina amanu iza qumtu ila sholati فاغسلوا وجوهكم وأيديكم إلى المرافق وامسحوا برؤوسكم أرجلكم إلى الكعبين وإن كنتم جنبا فاطهروا وإن كنتم مرضى أو على سفر أو جاء أحد منكم من الغائط أو لامستم النساء أفلم تجدوا ماء فتيمموا صعيدا طيبا فامسحوا بوجوهكم وأيديكم منه ما يريد الله ليجعل عليكم من حرج ولكن يريد ليطهركم وليتم نعمته عليكم لعلكم تشكرون. Sadaqallahul Azim. Okay, let's see the meaning, brothers and sisters. Oh, you believe, when you want to perform salat or prayer, then wash your face, wash your hands until the elbow and wipe your head, wash your head, wash meaning they wash, then both of your leg, both of your feet until the part that protrude, I don't know what you call it. And if you had sex, meaning is permitted sex, then you have to take bath or shower. And if you are sick in the journey, and after you have cleansed or touch woman, so touch woman here has meaning. Let me see the meaning of touch woman. 256. Oh, let's see. 256 266. Oh, touch woman here, I mean having sex with the woman. So that's the meaning of touch woman here. And if you don't find water, then you can do tayammum. Tayammum here mean cleanse with sand or dust, which is clean. So tayammum, which is cleansing with sand or dust. So you have applied to your face and your hand. Allah don't like to make things difficult for you. He clean you to complete His favor, to make you thankful. So next sentence, remember the favor of Allah to you and His promise. When you said, we hear and we obey, and put your trust to Allah. Verily, Allah knows the content of the heart. So next sentence, or you believe, make yourself as people who support fairness, because Allah is the witness of the fairness. Don't you make your hatred to something, make you to behave not in fair manner. Be fair, because fairness is near to fear of Allah, and put your trust to Allah. Allah is more thorough, seeing what you are doing. So next sentence, Allah is make promise to people or believing and doing the good. They will get forgiveness and the benefit of good deed that is big. Okay, that complete my reading of the Quran. So now let me read Gospel of Barnabas. Let us see where we are. Okay. Okay. Let us read chapter 119. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. For verily every time that a man beholds a thing and forgets God who has made it for man, he hath sinned. For if a friend of thine should give thee somewhat to keep in memory of him, thou shouldst sell it and forget thy friend. Thou hast offended against thy friend. Even so does man when he beholds the creature he has not in memory, the Creator, for love of man has created it. He sinned against God, his Creator, in gratitude. So just be careful who you appreciate most. So prevent yourself from doing this mistake. So the Creator should be number one. He therefore who shall behold woman shall forget God, for the good of man created woman will love her and desire her, and to such degree will this lust of his break forth, he will love everything like into the thing loved, so that hence come to that sin of which is ashamed to have memory. If then shall put a bridle upon his eye, he shall be lord of the sense, which cannot desire that which is not presented to it. For shall the flesh be subjected to the spirit, because of the ship cannot move without wind, so the flesh without the sense cannot sin. So about woman, men should be careful as well, not love women so much. So there is a warning there. That thereafter it would be necessary for the petitioner to turn storytelling into prayer. Reason is sure if it were not precept of God. For every idle word man sin, and our God blotteth out sin by reason of prayer. For the prayer is the advocate of the soul. Prayer is the medicine of the soul. Prayer is the defense of the heart. Prayer is the weapon of faith. Prayer is the bridle of sense. Prayer is the soul of flesh that suffer not to be corrupted by sin. I tell you, the prayer in the hands of our life, whereby the man that prays shall defend himself in the day of judgment. For he shall keep his soul from sin here on earth, and shall preserve his heart, is not touched by the evil desire, offending Satan, because he shall keep his hand within the law of God. His flesh shall walk in righteousness, receiving from God all that shall ask. As God live, whose presence we are, a man without prayer can no more be a man of good work than a dumb man can plead his cause to a blind one. Then fistula can be healed without argument. A man defend himself without movement, or attack another without weapon, shall without rather and preserve dead flesh without soul. For verily he who has no hand cannot receive a man who change dark into gold and clay into sugar. What should we do? So it's important chapter, the importance of we doing salat or prayer is also mentioned in the Gospel of Barnabas. Salat is very, very important in Islam. So the first thing they will be asked is whether we perform prayer while we live on earth or not. Okay. Then Jesus, being silent, the disciple answer, no one would exercise himself in any way other than in making gold and sugar. Then said Jesus, now why does a man change foolish storytelling into prayer? Is time perchance give him by God that he may offend God? For what price would give a city to his subject in order that later might make war upon him? As God lived, if man knew after what manner the soul is transformed by vain, then talk, O wretched world, for today men do not assemble together for prayer, but in the porches of sacrifice of vain talk, which is worse of things which I cannot talk of without shame. So Jesus feel the shame as well. Okay, brothers and sisters, that complete my reading of the Gospel of Barnabas, and that also complete my talk on religion and belief this morning. Thank you very much for listening.